Hello, this is Catherine from Accelerated Reader. Today, I will be reading The Secret of the Magic Crystal by Mishea Obiji. Before I begin reading, I would like to give a big thanks to the author for sending me this book to read on my channel. In the description below, I have included links where you may find and purchase this book. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Art prints from The Secret of the Magic Crystal are available at obigiart.com. The Secret of the Magic Crystal. Dedication. This book is dedicated to my wonderful, kind, but honest art group, to my amazing parents and husband who always encouraged me to keep doing art and being creative, and to my daughter and all of the children I have taught, who remind me that there is wonder within all that we behold. Listen to the wisdom of your children. The Secret of the Magic Crystal. Alana grew up in a house at the edge of a great forest where she loved to explore. She often stayed out late, looking for treasures until the shadow swallowed up the light. It was a dark evening when she found one. It was the most special treasure she had ever found. The sun was setting when she saw a faint glow coming from behind a rock. She looked closer and saw a beautiful, gleaming crystal. Finally, something just for me, she exclaimed. She quickly grabbed it up and ran inside. That night, she had a dream. It seemed so real. She could smell the honeysuckle and feel the warm breeze. The sounds of birds and bells surrounded her. She flew on delicate wings, and she wore a crown that sparkled, with the crystal right in the middle. Alana awoke very happy, but when she realized it was only a dream, she became sad. I wish I could be as lovely as I was in my dream, she thought. And then she remembered the crystal. It was hers. And it was beautiful, a special secret. Everyone will surely envy me for it. Alana felt like the crystal was made just for her and no one else. But how could anyone envy her if she kept the crystal a secret? And so it wasn't long before she whispered to her two very best friends, May and Samara, telling them of her beautiful dream and the crystal. Their eyes became wide with curiosity. May looked up at Alana pleadingly and asked, "Could I please borrow it for just one night? Maybe I could have a special dream too." "Okay, just one night," said Alana. "But you have to promise to bring it back tomorrow." That night, May did have a dream. She dreamed she was mixing and grinding strange ingredients in a green cauldron. When she added the crystal, the potion bubbled and frothed. The crystal shone brighter and brighter until it exploded in a flash of light. May instantly awoke and saw the crystal glowing in the morning light. She ached to have it for herself, but she was a good friend and had promised to bring it back, and so she did. May told Alana and Samara about her dream and asked, "Do you think Samara would have a dream too?" Alana was terribly curious about what Samara's dream would be, So she agreed to let her borrow the crystal the next night. Samara couldn't remember falling asleep, but the next thing she knew, she was deep underwater in a cave of lost treasures. She looked around, enchanted by all of the glittering gold. She looked down and saw a shiny tail where her legs had been. She spotted the crystal casting a light towards the back of the cave. That is where she saw something very peculiar. There was an octopus wearing the crown of a king. His twisting arms reached out and opened a box where a card lay. The card said, "Gold glitters bright, but makes you weak, for this is not the light you seek. For the light that you seek, the crystal is your guide. Where is this light? It is hidden inside." Samara woke up the next day excited. What did the riddle mean? What was the light that the octopus spoke of? She ran to tell her friends. Her voice quivered with excitement when she described the cave, how she had a tail and could breathe underwater. She also told them about the octopus. "He gave me a riddle. He told me about a light and said that the crystal would guide us to find it. We have to go see him." But how could they find the octopus? Were their dreams real? They decided to lie down on the ground right where they sat. They closed their eyes tight and tried their hardest to fall asleep. But it was no use. They weren't even tired. They all sat up together. "This isn't going to work," said Alana. "Wait!" May spotted something under a tree, and she ran over to it excitedly. "You're not going to believe this," May shouted, while picking up a round green bowl. "This is just like the cauldron from my dream." May started picking plants and mixing together mushrooms, flowers, and herbs that seemed strangely familiar. "Now, hand me the crystal." Alana eagerly handed her the glowing stone. When May placed it into the bowl, the wind shifted and the light changed, and the sweet smell of honeysuckle danced across their noses. A faint chime of bells sounded in the distance. "This is just like my dream," Alana said. They looked down and couldn't believe their eyes. They were floating high above the ground. To their astonishment, they saw they had grown wings and were flying. "We can fly!" they cheered. They darted between twisting, winding treetops. They snuck honey from beehives and burst through ornate spider webs as they raced away from angry bees. Then they remembered they wanted to go visit the octopus. They mixed mud and seaweed with the crystal and crafted a spell that turned their legs into shiny tails with flowing fins. The crystal led them to the deep waters of the ancient cave where the octopus was waiting with the box open. Inside was another riddle written on a card which read, "It is not in a box or a magic brew. The light you seek is hidden in you. You cannot find it with beauty, power, or gold. Just follow the crystal and the secret will be told." they heard a voice, and suddenly they were in the forest again. What is that? The girls looked around and saw a small group of children staring at them. Right before their eyes, the fish became birds and butterflies, and the box became a mossy rock. The octopus was now the twisted roots of a tree, and the walls of the cave became the very forest that surrounded them. The crystal's magic had faded away. "Who are you?" the girls asked. "We came from the city to visit the forest," a small boy said. Earlier that day, in the very same forest, a group of city children came to play. But they were not having much fun due to a bossy boy named Chiron. He was the one who always made the rules, and for some reason, everyone always followed them. They were collecting rocks and placing them side by side to make a long line. Suddenly, the children saw a flash of light dash by. They followed it, and it led them to Alana, May, and Samara. The girls were holding something that appeared to be glowing. "What is that?" the children asked again. Before Alana knew what happened, May blurted out, "It's a magic crystal!" Alana quickly hid it behind her back. There were a lot of children, and this was the most special treasure she had ever found. "Can we see?" one of the children asked. Alana looked down. "I can't show it to you. It's too special." Curious eyes became disappointed eyes, and all the children walked away except Chiron. He stood tall on the hill and shouted, "It's not magic! Magic isn't real! Come on, everyone, we've got work to do. Those rocks won't line up by themselves." They all walked sadly back to finish the work that no one really wanted to do. After the children were gone, Alana opened her hand. The crystal's glow was gone. It just sat in her palm, dark and cold. Alana, May, and Samara tried to make a potion to get the crystal to glow again, but it didn't work. The crystal just lay there on the ground amongst grass and sticks. Alana held up the crystal and shook it as if it were broken. Then she noticed a girl from the group of children looking at her sadly from far away. Alana looked at the crystal and walked over to her. "What's your name?" "Talia," said the girl. "Hi, I'm Alana. You can hold my crystal if you want. It's not really magic anymore." Alana wondered if anything they had done that day had really happened at all. But when she handed the crystal to Talia, the crystal began to glow once more, even brighter than it had before, but not as bright as the smile on Talia's face. "Now make a wish," said Alana. The children all gathered around curiously. They each had their own special wish. This time, Alana shared happily, and that made the crystal's light glow even brighter. Everyone was having so much fun, except in one dark part of the forest, where Chiron felt completely abandoned. How am I supposed to get all of this work done by myself? He wondered. May took the crystal to Chiron. Hold this. It's magic. Well, I don't believe in magic. Besides, I only like to build things, Chiron replied. I love what you've built, and magic is everywhere, whether we believe in it or not. Although he didn't really want to, Chiron held the crystal and closed his eyes. When he opened them, everything had changed. There was a strange and beautiful light and no wind, as if time had frozen. Chiron had never noticed how alive the forest was and how tall the trees were. He heard beautiful singing coming from a mysterious cave and went to look inside. When he looked in, he saw a mermaid combing her hair. I'm Samara. What's your name? Asked the mermaid. Before he could answer, a screeching growl came from above them. Don't worry, he won't bite, Alana assured him as she calmly stroked the nose of a dragon. Come join us. What do you want to do? Asked May. Chiron knew just what to do. He went to work. He started building whatever the children could imagine. They gathered around him and helped decorate everything he created with flowers, leaves, and moss. They worked together until the forest grew into a fantastic, magical world. The whole forest began to glow. As the day became evening, everyone became sad. They knew their fun was about to end. It's not fair. Why can't we all have a magic, glowing crystal? They cried to the Octopus King. Hearing their plea, the octopus opened the box one last time, and Samara read the final card. The light shines bright in each one of you. The crystal's your guide to make it shine through. Pass your light on to everyone you know, and they will pass it too, and the light will grow. They looked at each other, confused. What is it? What is the light? Suddenly, the card turned to dust in Samara's hands. Then they heard a deep rumbling all around them. The walls of the cave started shaking and crumbling until all they could see was black. They saw the light of the crystal, though, and followed it. It led them down through a secret passageway. The secret passage led deeper and deeper underground until they reached the center of the earth. There they saw a familiar light. It was the same light that glowed in the crystal. Then, in a flash, the crystal blasted them out into space. There, they saw that every single star, planet, and meteor glistened with the same familiar light. Then, just like that, they were whisked back into the forest. They looked around at each other and noticed something different. In everyone's eyes sparkled the light of the magic crystal. What happened? That was amazing! They all cheered. The crystal's magic light had taken them safely from the center of the earth to the vastness of space, only to show them how everything was connected, and they didn't need the crystal anymore. The magic that was in the crystal and all of the stars in the universe was within each one of them. The more they helped each other and cared for each other, the brighter the light inside them became. The children told their parents about their amazing journey and the magic land they had created. Their parents said, "That sounds like a fun game." But the children knew it was not a game. It was very real. Soon, the parents noticed something different about their children. They seemed to glow, and every new friend they made came away with a sparkle in their eyes. After their enchanting journey, Alana took the crystal, held it close, and decided to put it back where she had found it. Now, there it sat in the forest, glowing brighter than it ever had before, waiting to enchant whoever stumbled upon it next. The end. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this book.